welcome back. Hello.
Hello, welcome back to the Empowerment Podcast. My name is Xander.
My name is Christina, and we are both Avatar Masters, and we got to know on our path working on ourselves in personal development. And we like to share our viewpoints with you. And today we are talking about an interesting area where a lot of misunderstandings, we have the feeling, also in ourselves, but also in the world, it's all about forgiveness today.
Yeah. And it sort of builds up further on what we talked about in the last episode. In the last episode, we explored, taking on different viewpoints and how important it can be in our success and happiness. So if you haven't checked that out, the link is in the description below. But sometimes we discovered also in our journeys, we don't want to take another view, because we feel very fixed, very right about a certain situation. And indeed, Chrissy, that's where forgiveness comes in.
Yeah. And we thought it is good to explore it a little bit, because what I misunderstood many years was that it felt like I let somebody off the hook if I forgive. And then they do it again. And to prevent it, that it happens again, I just don't forgive them. And I hold it against them forever.
Yeah. For myself, I always had the idea that you should just forgive, like just do it, and like don't dwell on it. But it wasn't working like that. I was still feeling like not in connection with the person. There was still some separation. I was still maybe somewhere deep down feeling resentful or angry. And I was trying, to forgive, but just wasn't working.
And that's actually fixing us, that we can't take another viewpoint on people. That's why we see them sometimes in a certain way about, like, for example, I don't know, we can't feel compassion for certain people.
Yeah.
I mean, if you experience that and you know that feeling, like that it's difficult for you to have empathy, for example, or I know that very well, there might be also some areas in where we can be a little bit more forgiving. And yeah, I mean, forgiveness is something, what I learned, you do it actually not for the other person, but for yourself.
Yeah.
Because everything what you hold on as emotions and viewpoints and feelings and I don't know, whatever these feelings are, is something what is in your consciousness.
Yeah. I think the Dalai Lama said, and I may be paraphrasing him, not 100% correct, but I remember him saying, if you don't forgive, it's like you keep swallowing a hot iron down your throat every time. It is actually hurting ourselves more than we actually hurt the other person. But in our heads, at least for myself, I can have a whole story. I'll know I'm not gonna forgive. I'm not gonna grant them the whole satisfaction of forgiving. But it's really something for ourselves to be done.
Yeah. And like always, we have, of course, some examples of our life.
Yeah.
Samna, you wanted to start.
Yeah, that's right. I remember a few years ago, I was dating someone, and in my consciousness, we had a very nice connection, and it was, very spontaneous. But all of a sudden, I got a message where it was, this is it. And for some people, that may have been, you just move on with your life. But for me, that really hurt me because I got quite invested in that moment. So I tried to change it. I tried to, negotiate my way out of it, see if there was still another way. But no, there was no other way. And I remember really, really struggling. And also, I could not move on at that moment. I was not open for other opportunities, other connections. I got more stuck in myself. And what I realized through the whole going through the process of forgiveness when using the avatar tools, that it was actually, the whole thing was inside of me. And it was a totally different story when I integrated the situation. It was totally different, and I could move forward again. And quite soon after, I there was not a nice connection with someone else. And there was, of course, there was a little bit of suffering in it to go through that process. I had to feel those feelings, but I came out of the other way really another person and having learned a lot. So I think in forgiveness, you can really learn a lot of things about yourself that were not only pertaining one situation, but maybe even a whole pattern in your life. So it can even make us grow.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, what I experienced with forgiveness is that that's the area where I'm sometimes don't accept reality. I had that also with ex-partners, that I can't accept that things have changed. And then, like you said, negotiation, we want to convince the other person like that we stick to something what we once decided. So what I discovered at a certain point is that everyone has every day the chance to make a new decision. And I was not able to tolerate that because I was so afraid of letting go what I have. And forgiveness helped me with that. And what I learned in the process of forgiveness is that it's a process. It's not one thing and then you are done forever. So actually, every time when feelings are coming up again against the person where you feel like, I don't know, angry or jealous or whatever, this is time again to forgive. It's actually a ongoing process to go through until you come out and can really wish the other person just like be happy and well. I mean, and it does not make sense to just push it away and believe it's a past. I don't want to be involved with this, because it will come back. Everything what you push back, every feeling, everything what you don't want to have, it will be in your face in the next relationship, or I don't know, around the corner, or fixes your attention in a way, your very valuable attention, what you could need to create your future.
Yeah, and maybe if you have a certain feeling of, remember going through life with, I needed to do a lot of forgiveness on a lot of situations because I was really going through a viewpoint of being a victim, being victimized.
Yeah.
And if you have that sense, that people have done things to you, and maybe they have, they have done things to you, but you feel that may be a good area to see if you can work through. Because it's really, you don't have to reestablish a connection with that person.
No.
Again, you can
No.
just, but it's more about you, and that you can move on with your life, or in our cases, that we can move on with our lives and create the reality that we want, actually.
And that's empowering. Yeah.
And that's really empowering.
Not let the past influence it. Yeah.
To give you another viewpoint on and one step of the process, we'd like to do the compassion exercise with you. It's one of the exercises in the Resurfacing book by Harry Palmer. And it says, do you have the book as well, Christian?
I need to get my English book. One second. Keep them busy. I'm right back.
Okay, hold on, everyone. So it says here in the book, honesty with yourself leads to compassion for others. So an interesting notion.
So the objective of the exercise is to increase the amount of compassion in the world.
And the expected result is a personal sense of peace.
Instructions. This exercise can be done anywhere that people congregate: airports, malls, parks, beaches, etc. Zoom calls. It's not standing there, I have edited. It should be done on strangers unobtrusively from some distance. Try to do all 5 steps at the same person.
So we'd like to invite you to take a person from your life. It can be a person that came up through this conversation for yourself. Maybe you just think of something, maybe one of your family members, a colleague, or a partner, whoever you want, and hold them in your attention, and then we'll guide you through this exercise.
Okay. So with attention on the person, repeat to yourself, just like me, this person is seeking some happiness for his, her life.
With attention on the person, repeat to yourself, just like me, this person is trying to avoid suffering in his or her life.
With attention on the person, repeat to yourself, just like me, this person has known sadness, loneliness, and despair.
With attention on the person, repeat to yourself, just like me, this person is seeking to fulfill his or her needs.
And with attention on the person, repeat to yourself, just like me, this person is learning about life.
It says here in the sidebar, love is an expression of the willingness to create space in which something is allowed to change.
Nice. Okay. I
Thank you
think,
for joining us on this journey.
yeah, we leave you with this feeling and hope to see you very soon. Thank you for listening.